we're talking about what's eating you. Talking about what's eating you.
Proudly brought to you by Rogers Hood Apothecary.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Kim?
Busy but good.
Yep, I hear
Yeah.
you. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another What's Eating You Live. We are
Yeah.
back. Here we are.
We like the lives. The lives are nice because we get to interact with you guys and we get to answer questions, and especially this one. You'll find it over on What's Eating You with the letter U over on YouTube. Make sure you follow. We've got around 36,000 subscribers. I'm super proud of that. Like, we
Yes.
really blown up this year or this season because we're on season 2.
Yeah.
So this particular live is going to be fire because we're talking about skin and we're talking about what we've done for beauty products and like how we really have tried to make ourselves as healthy and holistic as possible. It's a challenge. Like, when you're looking at all of these skincare products and you don't realize that everything absorbs through your skin and that you really just want to put things on your skin that are going to just help your immune system. And I'm going to talk about a couple of the things that I've pivoted to as well in the last couple of weeks that I didn't even really think about. But when you can like biohack stack, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that we realize that we're putting things on our skin that could also help our immune system.
Oh, yeah. I
And
mean,
so,
I'm so glad you said holistic because it is a whole
yeah.
WHOLE approach. It's never just one way. So it's not just external. And a lot of people focus on topical when it comes to things like skin and
Mhm.
not focus on the root to heal the physical ailment happening, right?
Oh, for sure. I know that my hip, and I talk about that often. I sound like an old person when I say it, but my hip, I have the most problems in one spot, and I have because it's a weakened area. I've done stem cell, I've done Candida cleanses, but when I'm emotionally unregulated, when my nervous system is not regulated, it comes out in my skin and it comes out in my pain in my hip. And actually, even just looking, and I'm going to point something out, and now everyone's going to stare. But this, when I realized that, like, I've got this going on, just a little bit of extra red, it's hormonal. And so it's the internal part of my body trying to regulate because the cortisol levels for me, my body's addicted to cortisol for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I know it, and I have to like actually take cortisol management to bring it down because my body's run. Most chronically ill people actually run at a high cortisol level because you're always on alert. And so your body will respond. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think people realize how much internally it affects them externally. And so cortisol tea, I will try that.
Oh, yeah,
I,
that's nice. And we take the same
Mhm.
cortisol manager supplement, by
Yeah,
the way, at night, right? You take it at night.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I've
mean,
been
that's
back on it.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I actually just ran out, so I got to re-up. Thank you for the reminder. But what you're describing is the nervous system stuck
Yeah.
in fight, flight, freeze. And so when it's stuck in sympathetic, it can't be in parasympathetic, which is where rest, digest, repair,
Mhm.
and healing happens. And so, yeah, oh man, in the past years, cortisol, adrenal
Mhm.
fatigue, cortisol, all of that has been a huge contributing factor to my skin as well. So I totally overstand you when it comes to that. It's all so interconnected.
It
It's
is.
such a big web. And Western medicine is very like tunnel visioned, focused
Mhm.
on one thing. And a lot of the time they'll be like, what's the symptom? Let's treat it and let's just stay there. And it's like the whole body. I mean, even when we had Dr. J on our very first
Mhm.
episode of season 2, I loved the way she broke it down. I had never heard it before she said it, but she's like, yeah, the body is a whole system, but the
Mhm.
human, it has a whole system too, their family system, their environment, their
Mhm.
job, their where they live, the water they have, that they have like access to, the food, all of it. It's like it's their whole system of living outside of just the body. So it's really deep, the layers of this. Like, and then there's even, Kim, which side is it? The hip, which side?
Oh, it's celestite, so it's a feminine thing.
Feminine
Yeah,
thing.
it's 100% a feminine thing. Like, honestly, I was able to dissect it because of the fact that when I'm around you, it's like soul medicine, right? And
Yeah.
so I've been able to kind of go through and realize that a lot of my external issues that happen, it is because of things that internally I'm struggling with. And then I get around people that calm my nervous system, because honestly that is the biggest struggle about a parasite is your nervous system, because they hijack your nervous system, and that's why you have the extra anxiety, and they're holding on to trauma, and they're holding on to toxins, and toxins can be more than just a physical thing. A toxin can be a rinse and repeat in the mind when it's a higher level of a frequency that
That's
you have going
crazy.
on.
Toxic thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I fall into toxic thoughts a lot.
Bishop calls it stinkin' thinking. And literally, these are patterns, neural pathways, their behaviors, their thoughts. They're like actually physical, even though they're connected to our mental and our nervous system. And so, wow, you're
Yeah.
right. Oh my gosh. This is also why when we
Mhm.
detox and
Yeah.
we do the ParaFy
Wonderful.
cleanse or
Yeah.
Moldy's cleanse, we cleanse emotions. You guys listen.
Mhm. It's a
My
high level.
very
Mhm.
first ParaFy cleanse I ever did, I remember hitting Kim after this because I was like, what? I passed a foot long rope worm. First of all, what? Where were you living in me?
Just skinny,
How,
slid right on up,
how
just can
long have you been
conform
in
and
me?
morph, and probably decades.
Where were you?
Because it's just, she's so, Sam is tiny, you guys. She's like
right.
this big.
I felt violated. I was like, how dare you? And when I saw it come out, what's so wild about it is here I was seeing a physical environmental toxin, a physical worm leave my body. But I
Mhm.
was so emotionally charged. I remember
Mhm.
feeling rage, anger. I remember just getting really emotional about it and letting it out. And I actually out loud was like, get the out. You'll
Mhm.
never live in me. How dare you steal my life force? You'll
Yeah,
never steal from me again. And so it's emotional. And that makes
it
so much
is.
sense, Kim. Like, I'm so glad you brought that up. Energy, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, it's all
Mhm.
environmental around us, our community, our family, our
Well,
home. It's
and
all
your
there.
layers of your body, with the way that you're talking and the way that you release stuff, is there's fascia that's your electrical source, right? That basically we're all one. And when you're releasing something that your body is only known how to generate with, you're also releasing all of the trauma that's stored inside of that. And also your body now has to readjust
Right.
because it only knew how to operate this one way. And now you've released something out of it, and it's like, oh my God, I got to fill this void. It's like when you have holes in your boat, you got to patch that, and then it rows normal. But if you pull everything out at once, you're gonna sink.
The
And
way
so
you just broke that down made me see it in a whole new way. I've never seen it before. Wow, that's happened twice today already, Kim. Okay, we're on to something here.
Mhm.
It is wow, 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 wow. The body is not like it is alive. It's its own organism. Like we
Mhm.
always like think we are the body somehow until we realize like, oh, I'm not my body.
No,
I'm
we're separate.
right. So the body is a living organism. So of course it's trained, it's in patterns, it's in
Mhm.
habits, it's alive, it's an animal, like it's an alive thing. So you just said we have to retrain it when it
Yeah.
gets addicted to cortisol or a candida overgrowth that overtakes our cravings and our thoughts and our skin and all these things
Mhm.
candida can do to us. Let's dive into candida, Kim.
Oh man, Candida is a nightmare. I feel for all of us that I have Candida. I have systematic blood tested Candida. It is yeast that's inside of my cells that grows and pushes on the cells to push other toxins out of the cells so it continue to grow inside of those cells. That's systematic Candida. There's a way more explanation than that, but that's the best way I can describe it for visual purposes, is that it's like one little speck of yeast that then explodes inside of that cell, making your cell then need more oxygen and need more nutrients. But the Candida is in there just saying, no, man, I'm the only one. I'm it. It's a narcissist. And so when it's inside of it, and then all of a sudden it's going to grow and it's going to live with other type of environmental toxins. And so when you have just that one thing, when I start to just diffuse the Candida, right? Because it's so much to in your mind to think I got to get rid of it. Don't think that way. Don't think that like, oh, never going to test positive for it. Well, no, you're just trying to get it under control to the point where you're actually able to have no symptoms. And I feel like if we can change that mindset with people too, if that's a helpful way to see things when it's a huge task, chip away at it small, right?
I
Candida's a chip away.
couldn't have said it better, because that's like everyone has it, and it's all about the balance. And even
Yeah.
like, bad bacteria in the gut, your microbiome, like if you like it, your flora, everyone has it to a degree. And I just want to say one thing and then jump on what you just thought of. But who else? Can everyone just please drop an emoji, drop a heart in the chat if you also just learned from the first time from Kim that Candida lives in cells.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm sorry, but I thought that it was just in the gut and the skin.
No.
So if that also was new for you, everyone drop some hearts, because that is insane that Candida lives in
Oh,
the cells.
okay. Not just the cells, but I was talking to, oh my God, who was I talking to? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was talking to someone here in Nevada, and I'm kind of making my way in person more and talking to people more. And she said that her husband had surgery on his shoulder because of a tumor. And when they pulled the tumor out, it was candida in biofilm. Yeah, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I'll go and search this and I will record it because I heard that there is actually a video that shows someone having a ball of candida pulled out of what they thought was a tumor. So with that information, I've been really working on my hip because I am really positive that my hip issues is not just emotional, but I got some candida up in there because I've done all the things that if it was really spondylosis and nerve damage, it would not be doing what it's doing, right? And so I've been using the blaster because it'll help break down whatever's going on, and I can feel a pressure. And when I've been taking the oil of oregano, that it's been really helping. And I've been doing the LymF Kit with Rogers Hood, and that's been helping. But when she told me that, it was just like validation, right? Because I've
Wow.
been saying this for a while, and she said they
Sure.
removed a lump that they thought was a tumor, and when it came out and they biopsied it, it was candida. And I'm like, oh geez, that is
That's insane.
wild.
Yes. We're going to tap into a few comments because a couple people have a couple questions for you about this. This is mind blowing and wild. I believe I have seen some Candida leave me during the cleanses, because when I would see really weird, like clumps of tannish,
Mhm.
whitish, just something that I'm like, what is that? It's not a worm. It's just like, you don't really know what it is. And I would look it
Yep.
up online or ask you. And like, I think it can be like clumps of candida.
Yes.
So maybe it's like a plaquey looking type thing when you see it. I know it's a
Yes.
yeast. So, because someone asked, what does it look like? Okay. So
It,
it's
it
like,
can look like a dryer sheet when it comes out all put together. So it's like oblique. But my mom passed some candida and I'm 100%. She sent me a picture of her stool and she's really embarrassed of it. Love you, mom. But she sent it to me and it looked like a shark tooth coming out of her stool.
okay. Okay.
And so I went and researched that and it came back that that is how candida can clump together.
Okay, then I definitely have seen some, because
Yeah. Well, we all
like
have.
a yeah, it'll be like a cluster, and I'm like, it's kind of looks like
Yes.
it's like could be like plaque or something, but it's like, okay, it's a
Yes.
cluster of candida. Okay, but the
Yes.
other way you just described it, like the dryer sheet, to me, that's like a film of it, like
Yes.
a film. Okay,
Yes.
okay. We have to just read out loud some of these comments in here because y'all are lit in here today with us. Thank you. Thank you for joining the conversation and really showing up and like contributing, because your
Mhm.
energy is everything, you guys. Thank you for being here.
Mhm.
Okay, so a few things like a bunch of people agreed with me. They had no idea Candida could live in cells. So thank you for that new piece of information, Kim. Someone said they're so scared of what they would see. And I promise you, I was the same. I knew I needed to do it because I had never parasite cleansed before in my life. And my only thing, the only thing that was keeping me from just like going ahead and starting right away was the fear of what I was going to see. It freaked me out. It's a mental thing. You feel like you won't be able to handle it. Someone else said, like, I would die. You feel like you wouldn't be able to handle it, but I promise you, it sounds so weird. But once you just dive in and you get into it and you do just pull the trigger and ParaFy cleanse, once you're in the cleanse, it becomes normal. It's so weird to say, but it becomes your new norm. If you're interested and curious like me and you want to see what came out of you, but guess what else? There's great news, everyone. You don't have to look. You
Yeah,
can
you
just take
flush
the
and go.
herbs. Yeah, you can take the herbs, you can take the binder, flush and go. You remind me of set it and forget it. Like you remember that infomercial a long time ago? But like yeah, you don't have to look. You can flush. We call you guys flushers. That's the type of cleanser you are. You don't even look in the toilet, you just flush. So don't let the fear of what you may possibly see leave your body stop you from cleansing, because what's more scary than that is allowing these things to live in you, live in your cells, live in your gut, live in your skin, live in your brain, live in your lymphatic system, live in your body and cause you harm and steal your life force energy and steal your nutrients from you. That is way scarier of a thought, because they do control you. They can control you, they can brainwash you, they control your cravings. All of a sudden you'll want this, you know you shouldn't have it, but you want it and you do it anyway. That's them. And if you want to get really freaky, they're the ones also making you scared of what you're going to see to prevent you from doing it, so that they can continue on living and survive. So they're very intelligent organisms. So don't be scared. Don't let fear stop you from starting.
This is
Next,
good. I
this
want to show this picture when you're
Okay.
done. Keep
Okay. Just a
going.
couple more comments. So then someone said, people can even be parasites when you let them in your life. So as within, so without, like we were talking about, it's a holistic thing for us humans, right? So it's not just about our internal body and our mind, but like our environment and the people and all of that. And you're absolutely right. If you desire to heal and be well, then yeah, who you surround yourself with and the energy and all of that, man, your tribe, it really does matter, because it truly impacts your health, your stress levels, your mental, your emotional. And having that support system, like finding someone who's down to cleanse with you. And if you don't have them in real life, the good news is here over at Rogers Hood on social media, we have group cleanses and you guys can join them. And it's a whole community of other cleansers cleansing at the same time as you. And everyone's super supportive and interactive and engaging. And you can tap in with other people that will support you. So you're not alone. You're not
Well,
alone.
and it's helpful. You know, your nervous system really is the part that I feel like sometimes we fail. We're so focused on the physical part of cleansing and what that looks like and how outward it's going to look at the end of the result of it all, but you don't realize that your nervous system is the most compromised when it comes to having environmental toxins enter your body. They just sit and hijack it. And
Mhm.
so when you're able to be around people that can calm your nervous system and your tribe and eating right and doing all those things, it will actually keep your body from absorbing it, whatever it is. And so really, like I always thought when I was on this journey at the beginning, when someone would say, you have to heal your nervous system first, you have to heal your nervous system first. And I would look back at that and I did not heal my nervous system first. I didn't really have the time to heal my nervous system. So
Sure.
don't use me as an example. I physically needed to heal my body in order for me to be able to even look at healing internally, because of how bad and in rough shape that I was in. But the moment that I did the things to heal my nervous system, including moving here, hi Teresa, I'm a different person. And that's because I honestly had to go physical and then nervous system. But I see how important the nervous system is to continue to have regulated, because it affects my body now, you know? And so I think that over the last few months, I've had a lot of changes, but they've all been to heal my nervous system.
Yeah.
And so I guess the soapbox that I'm on right now is that you just got to do what you got to do first. And
It's an
whatever that looks like for
individual
you.
journey. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Individual journey, what's right for you. But when you really do keep listening though and stay open
Mhm.
to the messages, the signs, the other people in your life, the info coming through this, like if you're on this live right now, there's a reason. There's some
Mhm.
nugget for you to pick up from here and carry on with you in your journey and apply, but it's all connected. And as long as you stay open and your intention, your focus really is to heal and be well and feel the best you can, your body will tell you, life will tell you, it'll show
Mhm.
up and you'll know what to do next. But the nervous system and the body, it's symbiotic, it's interconnected,
Mhm.
it's not disconnected. So it's the root. And when they have broken down and shown, have you seen the picture of a real nervous system laid out on a
Mhm.
table before?
The
It,
lymph, the nervous. Oh yeah. Have you
it
ever
looks
gone
like a
to see
tree.
cadavers? Have you ever been around a cadaver?
Do you think I have seen cadavers? No, you were the one who even taught me the word, but we know. But you could share with people what's a cadaver, Kim, and why are you so in love with this?
Well, I worked on cadavers in college. I worked on three different cadavers. I worked on an 85-year-old woman who worked in a coal mine city and lived in there, and she had her whole woman reproductive system, which is really rare to see that. And then I worked on a younger woman and then a male. They weren't related, but I
For
have a
anyone
whole
who
history.
doesn't
I
know
like
what a
cadavers.
cadaver is, can you tell people what it
Yeah,
is?
cadaver is a dead body, basically. And so you in medicine, when you are in like medical college, you can work on cadavers and you learn on them. And I would dissect them and then you would test on them so that you could look inside of the body and figure out what organ looks like what. And like her gallbladder exploded, which was really wild to see how when a gallbladder explodes, how it stains the other organs around it, so like you can actually see all of that inside of a cadaver. And we're really kind to them. There's like certain standards that you have to follow. You're not allowed to uncover their
That's
face with
beautiful.
specific people. Yeah, it's super respectful. And so it's like cool though, because they've donated their body to science to allow us to fully understand. Like I would never have been able to see what an explosion of a gallbladder looks like inside without working on a cadaver. I've gotten to work on two females and a male now, and now I'll never really go. The smell though, oh man, you'll never forget it. It stays in your hair, it stays in your clothes, and you really have to like wash it in
Oof,
vinegar. But
wow.
overall, it was just like one of the most educational things I've ever done, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. And when I started running colleges, I tried to get the cadavers, but it took a whole nother world of finding out how to get it.
I'm
And
sure.
yeah, it was just too much. But I did pigs and stuff instead, because
Wow.
you can actually like change the way you teach
Wow.
people when you have a cadaver. It's kind
Sure.
of cool. But anyway,
I mean,
I
I'm sure you like
regress.
understand the body on a whole other level when you get to experience
Yeah.
it like that and actually see it laid out. But
Cool.
just curious, did the coal miner woman, did you see coal in any of her stuff?
Well, we
Soot?
didn't
Black?
know so you're not allowed to talk with the family once you get the cadaver. You're not, there's like no communication. We actually had to break that rule because we were told she wasn't a smoker. And when we opened her up, she had black lung. And we had to then break protocol, go contact the family and ask them exactly why she had black lung, because you guys marked that she wasn't a smoker. And it was because she lived in a coal mining city and she worked in coal mining. And so it made her lungs black.
Would you consider that an environmental
Mhm.
toxin?
Yeah. And it's full of
Oh,
heavy metals,
yeah.
right?
Heavy
And
metals
it,
is an
she
environmental
It
toxin.
is. And
Yeah.
she never smoked. So that she put that, and we're like, did she lie? Or we called her Helen. Was Helen really like a non-smoker? That wasn't her real name, but that's what we called her. Was she really a not smoker? And her family's like, no, she was dead against it. And we had no idea that her lungs were black. So
Wow, that is wild, wild. I had a feeling you saw black in her somehow.
yeah.
Erica says, I have Candida faux show.
Oh, for sure.
We all do,
And
Erica.
we really do. So what I was going to show about the
Yes,
candida,
let's show.
so
Let's
that
see.
you can see how it can collect inside of your blood and your tissue and your muscle, because it'll leak out of your tongue. And a good functional medicine doctor or practitioner will actually tell you to stick your tongue out. And the reason why we do that is because of the fact that we can see so much of what's going on in your body from your tongue. And so if you want to have a few tips of how you can determine what level your candida is at, I'm going to show you one. And then also while I'm showing the picture of the candida that's on the tongue, think about that coming out of your stool and why when we were talking about how it looks white and like a drier sheet and like chunky, it's because literally it's yeast, right? And so I know when it's time for me to do additional candida cleanses because of my tongue. So that's one way. The other way is in the mornings, if you spit in a glass, as soon as you wake up, before you do anything, spit in a glass. And then it should, if you have candida in your spit, it'll sink down and it'll be like chunky and gross. And so spit in a cup as soon as you wake up in the mornings and let it sit on your nightstand while you're getting ready and come revisit it. And if it's all like, bleh, you got candida, man. All right, ready?
Ready.
That's what it looks like.
That isn't that thrush?
Yes. So thrush is candida, but do you see how it's thick and chunky right here?
Yeah, I
So
see.
thick and chunky tongue like that, this is a full-fledged outbreak of candida. And it's coming up through this tissue, right? This is your tissue, this is your muscle. And so you can see that it's in your tissue, it's in your muscle, it's in your blood, and it's actually colonizing because it's a fungus, it's a yeast, it's all in the same world. And so what she would not want to do is probably scrape. I would recommend that this
Really?
person 100% should get a vibrating brush, not a bristle brush, but a rubber tipped with little rubber on it and have it vibrate across to break up the biofilm. See, that's the next step that I haven't even talked about. This is biofilmed. This is hardened because yeast is in a biofilm just like parasites. So you have to break that up. And a lot of people say to scrape it and it'll break it up. But in my opinion, from my holistic biological dentist, he specifically told me do not scrape. He told me, and I don't have it on me, I wish I would have grabbed it, but it's like this tongue brush. And it's like this antibacterial little nubby brushes on there, not like the normal toothbrush, and scraping it. And especially if you have Epstein-Barr virus, by the way, this can contribute to that. When you scrape with Epstein-Barr virus, it actually, because you have EBV tongue and you have Candida tongue, you scrape it and it can actually damage some of your tongue. And so my recommendation is if you ever have it this bad, that you get a little brush that isn't like bristle brush and a vibrating one. It'll break the biofilm down. People don't realize that all of this is encased in biofilm.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
suggestion.
Okay.
Gross, right?
So that is, yes. So that's something you can do externally and topically. So
Yeah.
simultaneously, what do you suggest people do if they have thrush or a candida overgrowth? What should they take internally? What else should they do?
Well, I definitely think that you need to start with Sustain. Sustain is our Candida. The LymF Kit has Holy Skull, lymph, and Sustain in it. And then I do recommend adding in oil of oregano for like a 10-day on, 10-day off. Oil of oregano can be viewed as an herb. It's a hot herb, but you want to be conscientious about taking it like an antibiotic. But it can be taken in conjunction with everything that we're doing with Rogers Hood products. And then I recommend not tongue scraping, but going and getting its own individual brush, the rubbery brush that I'm talking about, and then changing that out like every few weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
oil of oregano is great. And you
Yeah.
can actually put the oil of oregano and let it sit and kill out that candida in your mouth. I like taking it in a soft capsule, so I don't let it sit. I do let certain things sit in my mouth when I know I have an outbreak of candida on my tongue. And one of those is like Baja sea salt, the electrolytes, because it absorbs and breaks the biofilm down. And so the magnesium goes in and kind of pushes it out of those cells. Oh my God, I got to show you guys one more thing and then I can
Show
call it
us one
quits.
more.
Okay, this is called black hairy tongue.
What? Mm,
It's a
what is
thing,
that?
you guys.
What is
It's
that?
It's your internal gut just screaming. You're malnourished. You've got candida. There's some heavy metals that are being released, and it
Is
could be.
that mold too?
It could be. It could. I was just thinking that because look at this one right here. That looks very moldy. I did a whole series of black hairy tongue a few years ago.
Y'all can look for me.
Oh
Tell me when it's gone.
my God, isn't that wild?
It's so
It's
wild.
so wild.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna add a couple
Okay.
of suggestions onto Kim's
Yeah, what is
Candida suggestions. Yeah, because a few years back I was having these certain type of bumps and breakouts on my face, and I went to a naturopath skin girl, and she was like, "This looks like Candida to me," and I was like, "What?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I mean, do you feel like you're addicted to sugar?" And I'm like, "I don't eat sugar." And I'm like, "But every single day I have to have tea that has a lot of honey in it." And a lot of I was like, "Wait a minute. I'm addicted to getting sugar in other ways." And I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Do I have candida?" I was like, "What?" So I did a very intensive 60-day candida cleanse, and a big key to getting rid of candida on top of the suggestions Kim gave you is stop eating what they eat. You have to give your body a break from eating what they eat. So all of those sugars, the processed foods, the sugar, the honey, even natural sweeteners, like when you do take a break from doing that, you're starving them. I was on such an intensive one, which I know you know about that diet because that's the original diet you like suggested for people to follow during the ParaFy cleanse. Well, I couldn't even have like sweet potato. It was down to like that degree of like nothing that turns into sugar in the body. And within like a week, my partner and I, we started to have major withdrawals. And I couldn't actually believe how addicted to sugar I really was. And I'm talking even just natural, your natural stuff, but it was feeding the yeast overgrowth in my gut. It was keeping my system out of balance. It was making me break out consistently. It was giving me brain fog. It was making me tired. It was making me wake up tired no matter how long I would sleep. There was a lot of symptoms that pointed to it. So we did it. And I didn't put anything in my body for 2 whole months that turned into sugar into my body. I'm talking no rice, no sweet potato. I'm nothing. Okay. No honey, nothing like that. And I had withdrawals. I got past that point, and we definitely use oil of oregano in that, by the way, and other herbs and teas and things. But I sure do wish I had ParaFy at the
We
time.
didn't know. I was going to
It
say we
stayed.
didn't know each other, or it would have
We
been
didn't.
oh
I
yeah.
know.
I
Yeah.
can't even. I'm addicted to sugar, but in a different way, I think, than most. Like I can tell I get a little bit of a headache, but I don't eat a lot of sugar. And I had like a mushroom coffee a couple of days ago, and I felt sick after. It's because I don't eat a lot of sugar.
Your body doesn't process it the same way once you do get
Mhm.
away from it more. Even in the natural organic sweeteners, you guys, like it's wild,
Mhm.
like how, it's a tricky thing. Candida, it is tricky, and parasites are tricky because they will keep you eating and drinking the things that keep them alive. So my other suggestion to add on to Kim's was also ParaFy. So I would say start with lymph, start with the LymF Kit, take it for a good 2 weeks. During that time, do already start the diet. I would
Yeah.
already start starving them. Like don't feed the parasites, the worms, and the candida the sugar. Don't do it. Just like keep it out. Keep out the foods they eat so that you can starve them while you're unaliving them with the herbs. Then 2 weeks after you start the lymph, take that ParaFy kit. Go for it. Do the cleanse. Do the ParaFy cleanse. For me, that was the biggest turn for the change in my skin and my brain fog, in my sinuses, in my immune system, in every way, shape, and form. My gut health. Oh my gosh! After I did my first ParaFy cleanse, I could digest foods that I couldn't digest before doing it. Still to this day, I digest black beans just fine all the time, totally fine. And prior to ParaFy, I could not eat those. So I'm
I
just
couldn't eat
saying.
gluten. I
mm,
couldn't have gluten. I couldn't have dairy. Like I was so lactose intolerant. I was gluten free for like 20 years before it was like a thing because it made me so sick for my endo. It would immediately call endo belly. And like I have no problems now after I've done all these cleanses. Like I know Jeremy still struggles just a little bit, but that's just because I'm actually way more intense than he is. And so if you compared like how many cleanses he's done to what I've done, like I'm like years ahead. And so I feel like he's catching up because he can eat things now, but like you just are, it's just shocking how much you don't realize that we're being poisoned in a sense.
Oh, totally. And everyone
Mhm.
also is individual. Like I am gluten sensitive. I am. I
Yeah.
have an amazing guy in my neighborhood. I have an awesome community. Dave at Mother Nature Germany,
Oh,
you
I
know.
love Dave.
Yeah, so he's so cool, man. He hit me last week. He's like, Sam, I just made some ancient Incan flour, something like that, sourdough bread. Like, come by and get some. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I stopped by and I got a loaf, and I'm like, this is like what our ancestors used to do. Like, here's a loaf of bread, neighbor. You know, I'm like, oh, thank you. It's all made with love. And I'm like, is it gluten free? And he's like, no, but it's like very low in gluten. And like people that have just gluten sensitivity can digest it just fine. The fermentation's good for your gut. Da 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 da. I'm like, okay, great. Went home, had a slice, heated it up in the oven. I ate it. It was so delicious. And so soon after, I started bloating and I got a headache and stuff. And I'm like, whoa. So everyone's just individual. Know thyself and know what works for you and what doesn't. And if something isn't agreeing with you, like, it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
like if
It's
work with it.
okay.
Work with your body, you know, like you don't have
Yeah.
to force it or push it. If it doesn't agree with you or make you feel good, I tell Kim all the time, nothing tastes as good as feeling good feels.
Yeah. It's
Period.
crazy. And like my mom, you know, I talked at the beginning of this podcast that I was here helping my mom, and she was off of sugar for like 2.5 weeks. And then she ate it the other day and she got all the bumps back that you were saying you had. And
Uh-huh,
she
uh-huh.
doesn't feel well. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you're poisoning yourself with the freaking processed refined sugar that like they
Exactly.
that I guess sugar is harder to get off of than H.
Well, doesn't surprise me. Sugar apparently is like very similar to C. I don't know. What do
I
you want me
know.
to,
Yeah.
you want me to spell it? Like, how do you say it? You know?
Well,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I mean they made it addictive
molecule,
to us.
molecule wise, yeah,
Yeah.
addiction. Dude, some of these comments are pretty epic. I just
Read
gotta
them.
like read some of these off. So yes, she answered your question, Wilmac. You can take oregano oil with ParaFy. She did suggest 10 days on, 10 days off. Coffee enema is amazing to rid candida and biofilm when you bind, as I learned from you. And by the way, a ton of these comments are giving you your flowers, saying how much people have
Oh,
learned from you. Like a ton of these comments kept, I couldn't even read them all, but so many people are saying they learned everything about parasites and cleansing from you. But yes, we love coffee enemas. Make sure it's organic coffee enema coffee. Make sure you're doing it correctly. But absolutely, we love coffee enemas. We're a fan of them. Every time I do an enema, whether coffee or water, or I get a colonic, it always surprises me. It's always so wild, and it still just leaves me in awe that afterward, after I've completely cleaned out all waste, I always see mucus. I always
yeah,
see mucus
always.
and biofilm.
And that's biofilm, man. That's biofilm. Lauren over at Ritual Wellness, she's working on a no knead boil coffee enema product right now. So I'm excited for her to launch that. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but she has an easy, and her coffee enema that you can, I'm not sure when it's going to be for sale, but when it is, you just pour it in the water and you just go. And I've used it. Oh my God, next level. Next
Wow,
level. It
awesome.
pushed so much out of my body.
Yeah, I know. She gave me a little taste of it too. I loved it. At
It
Ritual
was
Wellness,
great.
I got to do it too. Yep. Someone
Mhm.
said thank you for building this community.
Oh.
Someone said they loved our little comment. They go, "Hey, this may be a first time around. Flush it and forget it." So for all you flushers that are afraid to look, don't let that be an excuse to not cleanse. Just flush it and forget
Yeah.
it. You don't have to look.
Someone said,
Hilarious.
what is biofilm that they've never really understood? So it's basically a hardened shell. So if you think about an egg, right? You crack that egg, you get inside, there's the yolk. The biofilm is the hardened shell that is around toxins. And in order for you to get inside of the biofilm, you have to break it. And once you break it, it exposes them. And that's what makes the ParaFy kit so good, is that we actually use lungwort lichen as our biofilm breaker, which is something that not a lot of people actually take. You don't even know about it. It's a foraged herb. So it busts open that biofilm. So basically you burn down the house of the toxins that are living inside of that house. And then you go in and you slowly pick out each one of those toxins. What I have done is that I use an herb that goes and picks out each one of those toxins. So you got a heavy metal living in that house of the biofilm that the lungwort lichen burned down. Then you bring cilantro in and it's going to come in and it's going to go, you're done, heavy metals, and it's going to pull them out. Wormwood, you're done, parasites. Oregon grapefruit, you're done, small intestinal parasites. And so it slowly picks them out of their home, and the biofilm is their home. And every single thing, including breast implants, those all have biofilms around it too. Candida that's on your tongue, you have to break that biofilm. And so the way we've explained how to break it is to have things moving in your mouth that will break it down, brush it out, but it's a hard shell. So mucus is a biofilm. When you spit mucus out, you see the shit that's inside of that biofilm is the toxins that your body is encased because it's protecting itself. Your body's like, protect me. So it makes the toxins build a hardened shell around them to protect them. But then your body starts to try and fight that hardened shell. And that's when you get autoimmune, because it doesn't know what it's fighting because it tried to protect itself with the biofilm and the mucus.
And it's keeping them in. So
Yes.
hold on, man. You just made me see ParaFy in a whole new way. The ParaFy kit is the SWAT team on the
Yes.
war on environmental toxins. And then it comes to the door of the house, and you know that big old, what is it? What is it? The big old thing, the thing, you know, the
Yeah,
like
the thing.
the log, the big
Yeah.
old black thing. That's lungwort lichen, and it busts
Yeah.
the door open,
Yeah.
man. And then all of them go inside, and they're like, "Get out of here, heavy metals! Get out of here, Candida! Get out of here, worms and parasites!" And it just basically it raids the house,
Yes.
aka the biofilm, the home of. And by the way, I have seen a nest leave my body, and it is a cluster of all this stuff, and it's like multiple like worms growing on and in and out of each other. And then it's like there was like a section over here that was all like foamy, and a section over here that now I know from you showing us like the pictures of talking about, that was a candida, and like it was a nest, it was a home that they were living in. And so ParaFy did that for me. I'm like, so wow.
It's
Wow.
sometimes it can come all out at once and you don't have to break the biofilm out. And then you look down. I have a picture where it looks like you've just got a water drop around the worm itself, and it looks like you place the worm inside of a water. And so it's like sitting. So it's not always a hard shell, but it's a shell that's protecting what's in there from your body. But your body did that to protect itself, and now you have to figure out how to go and pluck it all out. And that's the problem with a lot of people that do cleanses and they don't do well on them, specifically because all you're doing if you don't bring in a biofilm buster is that you're actually just getting rid of the low-hanging fruit. And that low-hanging fruit of heavy metals, the candida, that you're not actually going in and saying, get out of me.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I'm going to sweep you under the rug.
You got to go
That's
deeper.
really what it is.
You got to go deeper. You got to get to the root. You got to get to the root. We're root cause focused over here at Rogers Hood. So if you want to get a LymF kit, a ParaFy kit, and you did hear it here first, ParaFy is it the only one on the market that has a biofilm buster? Or one of, I mean.
Well, I mean, because it's a whole kit, it's a whole kit. And so you've got other companies where you can buy individual, but if you were to go buy something on Amazon, which by the way, we are on Amazon, and the prices are the same, they just look different because we put in, you should go and buy on Amazon and give us some stars, give us some ratings.
Give us 5 stars.
5-star, because that's what Amazon wants. And we're within like this honeymoon phase still on Amazon, and I've never known anything about Amazon.
Yeah.
So we're still in a honeymoon
Help
phase.
us build up our reputation over there.
Man.
You guys are so awesome. You're so supportive.
Great.
Thank you for all the feedback in here.
Mhm.
So just help us carry it over to Amazon and show support and help Rogers Hood grow, help build our reputation over there. Give us a 5-star
Yeah.
review if you've ever used ParaFy. Go over there, or LymF, or any of the kits, any of the cleanses, any of the products. Go over there and you can get them from over there and leave a 5-star review and help us build our reputation. Someone said, so important to hear this. You both are so wonderful and wise, beautiful women. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. Yes, or oil of oregano is the goat. We love it. Someone asked about clove in the mouth too. I am a
Oh, I
fan
love
of
it.
clove oil.
You
We love
guys,
clove
just go
oil.
get ParaFy and put it in because we already pulled the medicine out of the clove and processed it with alcohol and the tea. We already did the work for you. There's
Clove
no
is
reason
in
for you to go and do it.
ParaFy.
You can stick it on. When I have a tooth problem, so all of you guys know I have Lyme, and I have Lyme in my mouth. It's been proven. I've gotten samples and looked under a microscope, and I've seen spirochetes. A lot of people have bacteria and spirochetes in their mouth, but specifically mine is Lyme. And so I get flares inside of my teeth, and I can feel them. I go and get ParaFy, and I put it on because it has clove, and I've done all the work already to pull the medicine out of for 5 to 8 weeks. We soak our herbs and then we make a tea. So I know what herbs need to be a water soluble to pull the medicine and what herbs need to be alcohol based to pull the medicine. And then we combine that to get even more medicine. And so I'll sit it on my teeth when I'm having gum issues. And I know that I'm not having gum issues because of any other thing than the environmental toxins that have been in my mouth. I've had heavy metal poisoning from mercury. I have Lyme in my mouth. I have Candida. I have parasites and I have mold. And all of that lives in your mouth, right? And as you can see from the video that I showed, or that picture I showed you, how
Yeah.
easy it is for things to come out. So
Yeah.
use these tools, these tinctures that maybe you're just in your mind thinking it's just for parasites, but it's not. Like, these are essential tools for us to continue to have a more natural way about us and be proactive. And it was crazy. The light bulb went off in my head when I realized that I would just need to put ParaFy and let it sit instead of me going and getting a clove tincture individually.
I mean, you just blew my mind. I knew clove was in ParaFy, but I never thought about using it in the mouth orally. Like, duh. Like, yes. This makes so
Yeah.
much sense. It's already in ParaFy.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to go buy it separately. I already soaked the herb for 5 to 8 weeks and processed it for everyone.
You
And
sure
so
did.
every single one of those ingredients has its own world to it, but we just brought it together synergistically as a parasite cleanse. But it's more than a cleanse. We all know
Oh,
that. Anybody that's done it knows it's for inflammation, break down the biofilm, move out those heavy metals. And now a whole
viruses.
other one.
Lowers a viral load. You guys, I was
Yes.
getting when I tell you regular sinus infections, like once every couple of months, and they would put me down for like a month at least, and it was like
Mhm.
consistent, and I was like, what is going on? How am I catching all of these? Did the ParaFy cleanse, man. I get sick about once a year now, and that's a huge progression for me. So
And
ParaFy is,
you can build, sorry, Sam, you
no,
can,
you're
I'm so excited. You can build your immune system. I have been with Jeremy for the last 10 days and he has had a ongoing cold. And I broke it down from him going like to like, I'm not sick. I mean, I have other health things going on, but I did not catch his cold and I laid in
great.
bed next to him for the entire cold and I have not caught the cold.
That's great.
Yeah, so it really, you can work on those things by just taking specific herbs.
Yeah, totally. Totally. ParaFy is so much more than a parasite cleanse, you guys. I always say that all the time because it covers so much ground: heavy metals, bad bacteria, candida, viruses,
Mhm.
mold spores. I say that. I know it's not a mold cleanse, but the reason I say that is because when the organisms, when the parasites are unaliving and the worms are unaliving, they're dumping any mold spores that they held on to. Well, then Cinnabon, the binder, is coming in right after and cleaning it up and moving it out. So to me, you're moving out mold spores too. Sorry, I
Mhm.
know it's not a mold cleanse,
No,
but
you are.
you
That's
know,
why I put Ceylon cinnamon in there because you could just do a charcoal binder, but I mean, you really do need to have that additional herb to supplement and charcoal is the main character, and everyone needs to have a wing person to have you be equal. And so that's how I looked at cinnamon. Every single herb needs to have another herb with it, in my opinion. And so when I was creating cinnamon, I realized that cinnamon helps with mold, which I was going through it, and it also helps with inflammation. And so you want to have the inflammation reduced, and then you push out those spores. But
That's
yeah.
actually really beautiful, Kim, because every herb needs like a supportive herb to help it do what it does. And like, it's like us humans, like,
Mhm.
we really can't do this alone. Like, come
Mhm.
on, like, please, we need community, we need tribe, we need like minds. And so to, even if you don't have anyone in person in your real life, if you do, you're very blessed and fortunate
Mhm.
to have like-minded people around you that are on the same wavelength and the same frequency. But if not, you can always tap in over here. We are
Mhm.
very interactive with our community here at What's Eating You and in Rogers Hood. We just love you guys. We love answering your questions directly. If we don't do it here directly on the live, trust me, we save them. We answer them later. We answer them in episodes. When you
Mhm.
comment a question on our YouTube videos, head over to What's Eating You on YouTube after this. Go binge some if you have some time, or check out our brand new Beauty is an Inside Job episode that just dropped today. We do talk about Candida. We talk about modalities. We talk about cleansing. We talk about skin and health and hair and beauty and approaching it all from a holistic approach and a cleaner approach, and what we're doing in our lives to clean up and to replace things, with more organic fabrics and underwear and clothes and shirts, or beauty products and skincare and hair care. And we share with you our favorite ones. We share with you treatments that we do. Tap into that beauty episode. It's really great. It just dropped today. But yeah, if you ask any questions in our comments, we will always get to them. We'll always answer you, whether we type it back or we answer it live on an episode, because we love interacting with you guys and engaging with you. We're all in this thing together.
Mhm.
We're all on this healing journey and wellness journey together, so we can't do it alone, just like the herbs can't do it alone. I thought that was a
Thank
beautiful
you.
metaphor. Yeah.
It's true, man. I would not be here if it wasn't for the community. And I know I've got a lot of new people on my page. We've really gone viral over the last couple of weeks, but I literally learned this not from my classical training that I've been in Western medicine for 20 years. I learned most of this, if not all of this, specifically because of my community. When I went viral, I took all those comments and I went and dug in. Like, I'm like, oh, what do you mean you take charcoal? What does that mean? And so everything I do has been from my community, and that's what I've always dedicated this to. What
Hi.
is
Well, anyone new here, I'm Sam Bruno. I'm a co-host of What's Eating You. So we both host our podcast called What's Eating You. And I'm Sam Bruno. You can find me at Le Sam Bruno, LE Sam Bruno. You can tap on What's Eating You and just look up in the bio, and my tag is up there. And this is Kim Rogers, the Worm Queen. So if you don't know who she is, that's who we are. Welcome to our nutty, unhinged, unfiltered, wild corner of the internet where we talk about worms and the crazy things that leave our body, and we have no shame in it,
okay?
because I decided to humble myself a couple years ago when I started going live with Kim, and it started to become a thing. I was like, do I really want to be going on the internet telling people that like a foot-long ropeworm left my body, or that I blew out hundreds of worms out of my nose? So if you're new here, yes, that also has happened. In this past week, I passed more flukes. I'm like, what is this? They were grown, reddish, like big size. And I'm like, wait, if you're grown, I didn't interrupt your life cycle, or like some of you got by the cleanses. Like, I'm like, it really reinforced for
Mhm.
me the importance. Listen, you guys, like, please hear me. When Kim, I know she just like says it just like rolls off her tongue all the time. So you're probably used to hearing her say it, but like, ParaFy cleanse 3 to 4 times a year. Like, we're just so used to hearing it. It's so real. Why she's saying that, the intention behind why she's saying that, is because these things are just like us.
Mhm.
They are organisms that are wired to survive just like we are. And our bodies are like the earth to us, our bodies are to them. So they're in there reproducing, eating, defecating,
Mhm.
causing havoc, building homes and communities and ecosystems. I mean, they're literally using your body as their earth, as their home. And
Mhm.
so, like, you know, you have to interrupt their life cycles. That's why she says the 3 to 4 times a year. It's also because it's really important for us to really understand it's not a one and done. When we say that, the reason why is you can't get everything out in one fell swoop. And even if you did, you still
Mhm.
are going to keep living. You're
Yeah.
still going to keep eating food. And everyone's like, oh, I don't, well, what if I don't eat meat? Sorry, they don't only live in meat. They live on organic berries and produce, guys. Like
Yeah.
if you walk on grass, if you come into contact with an animal or a pet,
Pets.
if you
Mhm.
kiss another human. Someone earlier was like, what if you're dating someone with that tongue or that
Well,
has that?
Tammy said she will not date anybody unless they've cleansed. That's her for her first number. I had 14 questions. Now I have 15. If I'll never be single again, but if I had been, I'd be like, do you cleanse? Number one. And she said that's her question too now is do you cleanse?
Yeah.
And even me, I've passed things that have been questionable. I can't even believe it. I'm shook most of the days when I think about it. So
Yeah.
you just have to know that like we're actually exposed to these things unknowingly a lot.
Yeah.
Good
All the
explanation
time.
though, Sam. Oh
Every
my God,
Thank you very
girl.
much. It came
Yes.
through. It came through, especially
Thank
in this
you.
past week, because when I saw the flukes, I was like, hold on. Because I
Mhm.
get on here and listen, you guys, I promise, like, I know I talk a lot and I have a lot of energy and a big personality, you know, and I know I like bring the drama and all the, you know, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, I am so not on here as like an expert that has it all figured out, that's like arrived. And like I'm like, you know, it's funny, we've even gone through like if you've been a part of the ride, like we've gone through moments where I got tests done and it was like parasite free, and I came on here flexing. I was like, parasite free. And maybe I was like in that moment in that test.
Mhm.
But it's like it's real, it's
Yeah.
real, and I'm literally just like you guys. I'm a human being, I'm living my life, I'm doing the best I can, I'm eating as clean as I can, I'm doing as many of the healing modalities as I can, but I'm so a human on this earth, exactly like Kim, exactly like every single one of you. And I'm coming into contact with these parasites and worms and candida and mold and heavy metals and environmental toxins daily. I don't have a filter on my shower. I do not. So I know I'm even bathing in them. Okay. I'm coming into contact with them every day. And I love that we have this platform because we get to share with people all the different ways you're coming into contact with these and why. Like we're removing all of the misinformation or misinterpretations around who
Mhm.
has them and who doesn't. And if you live in this country, you don't, and you don't need to cleanse, is so far from the truth. And sushi eaters, we love y'all. We love you, and we understand that
Mhm.
you love it. Okay, we get it. But please don't eat raw sushi. And if you do, oh, please ParaFy cleanse. At
Take it
least.
before. Just take it before. Get the kit. Take it before you eat questionably, and then take it after. Like basically going in and being proactive. Like kill them on dead of arrival. You know, because guaranteed you're going to have eaten something if you're eating raw.
You remember DOE?
Dead on.
They're dead on exit. Because everyone's like, oh my God, are they going to come out of me alive? And I just want to clarify that too. So, like, you know, the rope worm that left me, the hundreds of worms out of my nose, the flukes I saw this week. I have never seen anything moving coming out of me personally. I'm only speaking for myself. Kim can speak for herself, but I have never seen anything alive. And so I like came up with a coin like a couple years ago that they're DOE, they're dead on exit, because the herbs work. ParaFy
Mhm.
works. It works. It works. So so yeah, so don't be scared is my whole point. Know that no matter what, you do need to be doing it. I do it, and I thought, you know, I think, oh, I'm a regular cleanser, and I still see them, you guys. I still see
Mhm.
them. I still see them. Literally, I probably about a week and a half ago, I also was like just cleaning out my nose before going to bed, and there's a little wormy on the tissue. So it is what it is. I'm doing my best just like you guys,
Mhm.
but it just keeps proving to me and show and like telling me like, no, you have to practice what you preach and really take it in what Kim says. Don't just like hear her say like, yeah, three to four times a year, and then I'd be doing these little mini ones over the full moon, like the 5 days, you know, like It's sometimes it's not enough. They're still obviously living and reproducing and going through their life cycles in me. So it's just a good reminder. So I'm just coming on here being honest and humbling myself, admitting all this, gross stuff that leaves my body to help you guys realize, like, if that's in me, what's in you? So let's do it together.
I just think we just want it, like, we can't imagine, because the brain can't wrap its head around the fact that it's always going to be something you have to work on. Like, we've just been really treated like we can just kill everything. And, like, honestly, I don't think that you should have them, but I mean, obviously there are some worlds that think you should, but personally, I just think that I'm one of them that thinks, oh, I was a one and done. I was one of them. And it's like, what do you mean? You can even watch back when I was doing this, that I'm like, I still have them. Like, people in the comments were like, how did you pass these worms? Literally in my phobic, they were like, you've been cleansing forever. It's like, well, I'm still passing stuff, you know?
I'm still passing stuff, guys, and we are what's eating you. Like, it's like we have them still. Okay, so, like, yeah, I mean, someone said they're 45, they've never done it, they're scared to do it, but they know they have it because they get itchy butt sometimes when they eat something sweet. Please just do it. Like, just what are you gonna lose except some worms and some itchy butts? So go for it. When they did their first oh wow, yeah, I know, it's a big thing. The seeing them, I know, I get it, you guys, because that was me too. That was my one stop. It was like, I know I need to do it, I've never done it, I'm in my 30s, I got to do it, but I don't know how I'll be able to handle it if I see anything. But it really isn't like that. It's not. And or you could just flush it and forget it. So
Flush
go
it
for it.
and forget
Go
it.
for it. Yeah. So you can get it at Amazon, ParaFy, LymF, all of that. You also can get it at rogershood.com. And if you do go over to rogershood.com to get any of the kits, the cleanses, or the products, you can use the code What's Eating You. We spell it What's Eating and the letter U to get 10% off, because we like to help you guys out and we like to make it affordable. We like to make it easy for you to get access to it. And like she said, she put it all together in one kit. You do not have to go out and individually buy herbs and find a binder and find a biofilm breaker and find all of it. You don't have to do that. Even clove, we learned today, is in ParaFy, and that can be used orally. I mean, there's just so many things. Someone earlier said that they had bumps on their arms and they put metal flesh on them. And they said they dried up and fell off, along with some like black specks and stuff. So, like, the body is wild and herbs work, and Rogers Hood is top tier. I would not get my herbs or tinctures or cleanses from anyone else, and I am definitely a lifer when it comes to Rogers Hood cleanses and products.
Thanks. Yeah, lifer. I'm a lifer.
We're lifers. Yeah. Thank you for all of the new info today. I learned a lot about Candida. Like, that's so wild to me to think, like, I don't know why I only thought it was in the gut, but whoa, it's this is a whole new thing. I mean, I was aware of the mouth thing, but whoa, this is just a whole new world. And I love that every time we come together, we get deeper understanding and overstanding of all of this, and we can help spread it and make noise and really just come together to be like, hey guys, we really are all in this together, and we're figuring it out as we go. And some of us have a lot of information and education to offer and a lot of knowledge to offer and experience. And, like, it's just really cool how we can come together and help each other heal and be well and feel good in our lives and have a high quality of life, because that is literally the entire point. So that's why we're here. So thank you for joining us today. Thanks everyone in the chat. Like, y'all really made this live lit. Like, we appreciate you contributing to the energy and the conversation. We're always here for you. We send out emails every single week that are packed full of info that are relevant to the episode that drops every single Wednesday. What's Eating You Wednesdays. We drop an episode every single Wednesday, and we also send out an email. If you're not on the Rogers Hood email list, please go to Kim's Linktree and just drop your email in there, because I promise you are going to receive a lot of information from Rogers Hood, and you'll get first knowledge of sales and all of that fun stuff and big podcast drops. I know Kim teased something a little earlier, so if you want to be the first to know, sign up for the email email list. Head to rogershood.com to get any of your kids' cleanses and products. You can use the code What's Eating in the letter U for 10% off. If you do get any products on Amazon, please do just take an extra second to leave 5-star review and a nice comment and review to help build the reputation over there. We really are working on growing and expanding and getting the power of cleansing out to as many humans as possible on the planet. So thank you for being a part of that. Thank you for being here and joining us on another What's Eating You Live, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye. Thanks.